Morning, it's Rich here. It's morning where I am. A novice noisemaker, the person who buys guitars and makes noise and can't play. Bad hair day, Puma top. That's okay. I had a lesson yesterday. Can you believe it? Can you believe it? Face-to-face lesson. A chappie came round here and said, "So what are we doing then?" I don't know. I like metal, I like blues, I like this, I like that. I fiddle around, I don't know what to do. So we had why isn't that straight? Sit straight. So we had a good old chat about stuff, and yeah, not surprisingly really, just some of the basics which I skipped, as you know. So first thing he says to me is, "Which of these chords do you know?" Turns out I know quite a few of those, but no, not all of them. Don't know my sevens particularly well. Yeah. So what he didn't say is go away and practice those with a metronome and what to do. He just said, familiarise yourself with these, practice them. Those are the ones you're going to use the most at different points. The more you know them, the better. Okie dokie. Then the next thing he said is, do you know where the root notes are on the neck? I say no. Well, a few, apart from the high E and the low E. I say no. Now Steve Cassidy, hi Steve, very kindly on a lesson with him a little while back, went through a little bit of this with me as well. But yes, so he said, need to know where your root notes are, and he used one of the same techniques that Steve showed me of how to know them, and we went into that a little bit more, and he gave me this as well as a helpful reference point. So he said, need to try and get to know where your root notes are. Kind of, yeah, okay. Then we were talking about scales, and he said, what scales do you know? And I said, well, I learned all the 5 main positions of the minor pentatonic scale some time ago. Can't really remember them now. First position and the other positions just seem to happen by sight on the fretboard, but I couldn't play them individually, can't remember. Don't know the major scale. He said, okay, that's fair enough. He said, but at some point you could do with knowing a bit more of those because they tie in together. He gave me this as well. So he said, try and get yourself back to knowing the minor pentatonic scale. That'd be good. And he said, need to also start learning the major scale stuff as well. Actually, I thought, okay, that's fair enough. Fundamentals. Now, obviously, everyone who's watching this will have an opinion on what you should and shouldn't do. There's lots of different ways, aren't there, of going about guitar learning. So for me, this guy, it's been difficult finding somebody locally. So this guy's coming to me. He's inexpensive as well. It's £25 for an hour or £15 for half an hour, which is a lot better than other people. And one of the things I liked about him too is he said he spent 25 years fiddling around with the guitar, a bit like I've done, although not for 25 years, and then decided to take that on a step and learn some theory and learn enough. He's been in bands and he's been a teacher for a while, but by his own admission, doesn't know everything. You know, he can't just point to a string and a note and know them all, and doesn't know all the chords as such. So it was nice that I didn't have confidence in his ability to teach, because that's what he does. And being in a band, you've got to know a bit about what you're doing. But it was nice that it was sort of human. Do you know what I mean? So that was good. So yes. So I've got some homework to do, and I think having the accountability is something I needed, and someone to say, do this. So I'm going to try and see him again in about a week or so, and I think for the next probably 6-7 weeks or something like that, I'm going to try and see him once a week if I can. I start my new job soon, so we'll have to see what happens with that. But yeah, find a discipline and see him once a week for a bit. The other thing is, he had a PRS SE custom with him that he bought fairly recently, and I've only had one PRS this year, and I didn't have one at all last year. I don't know, I've had 7 or 8 altogether, but I just thought I need another PRS. Just the build quality and everything's lovely, so I bought this One Bash Special. I bought it from Peach Guitars. I've not bought from Peach for a little while, but the thing that's nice about Peach, if you ever bought them from there, all the guitars, they photograph them individually. So you can choose which one you want, and they all get a setup, a proper once over and a setup. You can actually pay for a much more detailed service if you want it, but all the guitars get set up. So I could have ordered it from Gear for Music and had it here tomorrow, and my experience of PRS SEs is they've all been set up well out of the box anyway. But I thought, well, do you know what, let's, for the sake of a couple of days, it'll be here on Tuesday, let's just leave it and let it be actually properly looked over and set up as well, so it should come perfectly playable. So I'm looking forward to that. So there we go, that's a quick update.